All right, so I had a lot of good feedback about the last Twitter Files video I did, so I decided I would go ahead and just keep on doing updates to that story as it develops, and there are continuing developments going on. So I'm going to try to go over those as best I can and kind of just summarize everything because there's just a lot to follow in all reality here. So looking at this, we'll start with Matt Taibbi's. I think it's Taibbi is what I think the name is. I think I figured it out now. But there's some more info from him as of the 6th, which 2 days ago. So I'm a little bit late on that. Actually, yeah, 2 days ago now it's midnight. But so he was talking about basically when they released the files on Friday last week, there was a lot of, I guess we could say, odd things that were holding it up, and he's kind of explaining here why it was held up because they said that they were going to release it on, I want to say Thursday or early Friday, and then it kept kind of getting pushed. So this is why, is anyway what he's saying is why. So basically Tuesday they fired Jim Baker, and Jim Baker is, if you're not familiar, is one of the people that was pushing the Russiagate stuff. I don't know if he was involved with the Steele dossier, but basically he was in the FBI prior to Twitter, and he was basically pushing a lot of things that were just anti-Donald Trump, right? He was, involved with the investigations into his campaign that were basically spying from what everybody says. And yeah, it's not good. It's a very bad look. And this really does kind of go back to how deep does the political bias and the corruption really exist in Twitter? And it seems it's rooted very deeply, or at least it was. Who knows for sure what it is at this point? It's there could be more people because clearly they don't seem to really know the full depth of everybody that's working there right now, even though they've gotten rid of close to, I think, 3,000 employees, somewhere around there, which is a lot. But yeah, so basically they found that the person vetting all of the files that were coming out and all the information that was coming out was the guy who would have been very biased and who was working directly with some of the people that were doing the shady things. So it's hard to really defend that. I mean, it could be a lot worse than everything that I said previously. Again, though, it's going to be really hard to say that it actually is any kind of a violation of anything other than, I guess it would be a violation of First Amendment rights, but a private company can't violate a news outlet's First Amendment rights, really. It would have to be the government directing Twitter to do that. And then the person, I would assume the people that would have to bring the suit up would have to be the newspapers, and they would have to say, hey, this story was squashed, by the government essentially saying you couldn't do this. And that seems possible, I suppose. But I'm not a lawyer, so I couldn't tell you exactly. I can just say what I would think logically is that if someone were to bring the suit, it would either be the campaign, I guess the Trump campaign in this case, or it would have to be the newspaper would be more likely, it seems like, because they were trying to put out stories, and there would have been some monetary damage there from the stories that they weren't able to get out because of Twitter basically preventing them from doing so. But again, it wouldn't be Twitter because Twitter can choose not to do whatever they want because they're acting as both a publisher and a platform, which they should not be. Again, it goes back to that previous statement that I said in the last video. They should only be one or the other, not both. But yeah, so they're saying that essentially this guy was vetting all this stuff through, and that's kind of a problem because, oh yeah, he was involved in the Steele dossier also, which was basically a fake report saying all kinds of things that basically they said Trump had like prostitutes doing certain acts that it turned out none of it was true. A lot of the collusion stuff was based on the Steele dossier. And he essentially, and the alpha server mess, that was another thing. I'm not gonna, I don't have a lot of information on that, but I'm not gonna really go deeply into either of those things. If you want to find out about them, go ahead. If you want me to do a video on them, I can. But the basic idea is there's a lot of bad decisions and bad calls being made that were very biased, obviously politically motivated, and the guy essentially resigned in 2018. So everybody, I'm not sure how he ended up getting it. Well, I could take a guess as to how he got a job at Twitter, but I wouldn't know for sure. If you have a government position with a security clearance and, experience into how various agencies work, companies, particularly tech companies, will want to hire you because they feel they can trust you, or they know that you have some sort of insight into things that they want to get into, blah, blah, blah. So this definitely looks like that was the case, and this guy was there for that reason. And yeah, that's not good. That's a bad look. But they did remove him from Twitter now. He's, well, from the company, period. So there's that. I guess that's something. So that's basic update for now. Nothing super ground shattering yet, other than that does look very bad, and we'll just have to keep looking at it and seeing what happens. If you are curious about anything else, if you want me to look up for you, find out some information, by all means, let me know. I will try to do a video on that and go over that stuff. I'm also looking at doing a video to see how dead Twitter actually is, because you kind of have two groups of people saying different things. One group saying, "Oh, Twitter's dying," and another group saying, "Twitter's doing great." What's the actual truth? The answer is probably somewhere in the middle, and I'm going to try to look that up and figure out what exactly is the truth. How can we tell? And I don't know, maybe no one really knows. But stay tuned for that. And like always, like, comment, subscribe, helps me out a lot. And until the next time, try not to die.